Hello and welcome back everyone, we Weeb online, and today I'm gonna continue the story What If Kid Naruto Became a Kage Level Shinobi Part 3. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
Naruto strolled down the street in his orange jumpsuit. Chaos, naturally, followed in his wake. Sakura and Ino were stalking Naruto. They ducked behind some crates. I think he's gonna go do some training next, whispered Sakura. Yeah, he must have done lots of training by himself, agreed Ino, also in a whisper. Maybe we'll find out what kind of training he does. Nodded Sakura. I still can't believe he eats ramen for breakfast though. Ino shook her head. How is he not fat? He ate 12 bowls of ramen. I don't think even Choji could eat that much. Naruto should be like twice as big as Choji. He's getting away, said Sakura, peeking around the boxes. Naruto, in fact, had simply continued walking. Sakura and Ino dashed along the street into a narrow alley to continue following Naruto. Sakura and Ino jumped and looked around wildly. Sakura, Ino, said Hinata in a flat tone, emitting a small amount of killing intent. She stood in front of them, hands on her hips. Hinata, said girl, straightened as if caught doing something wrong. What happened to the shy, timid Hinata? I see that you have decided to become Naruto fangirls, stated Hinata, scowling. I want to make one thing clear. You can follow Naruto. You can talk to Naruto. You can moon over Naruto at all hours of the day and night. But Naruto is mine. Got it. Hinata's killing intent rose to Chunin level. Got it, agreed Sakura, looking properly chastised. Got it, squeaked Ino. She's scarier than Shikamaru's mom. Good. Now, Hinata peeked around the corner to look for Naruto. Ino and Sakura followed suit. Where'd he go? Whispered Ino. Oh no, we've lost him, whispered Sakura. Who are we following? Whispered Naruto. Hinata whipped around and saw Naruto behind them. There you appear. Hinata turned red and fell over in a dead faint. Oh dear, exclaimed Naruto, catching her. Here we go again. Naruto, said Sakura. We were, following Sasuke, completed Ino. Yeah, we were following Sasuke, said Sakura. Poor Sasuke, said Naruto. Then he shrugged. Meh, who cares? Anyway, Sakura, I came to tell you, Kakashi-sensei just arrived at the team meeting spot. What? But it's 7:30 in the morning. Kakashi-sensei never shows up before 10. I know, said Naruto. Actually it's 7:45. And we're supposed to show up at 8, so he's early. But anyway, we gotta go if we're gonna get there on time. Sakura frowned. How do you know he's there if you're here? Weren't you just? Ino bonked her on the head. Naruto looked confused. Nothing, said Sakura. We gotta go, right? Yeah, we gotta go get Sasuke too. Ino, can you watch Hinata until she wakes up? Thanks, bye. Ino looked at Hinata, slumped against the alley wall, as the two members of Team 7 dashed off to their meeting. You're late, said Kakashi exaggeratedly, as Sasuke, Naruto and Sakura walked up to the meeting point at 8 sharp. He pointed his finger at his 3 students and posed in mock outrage. Sasuke and Sakura face faulted. What the hell? Shouted Naruto. People don't face fault in real life. That only happens in anime. Maybe they've been watching too many episodes of Fairy Tail, suggested Kakashi, poking a twitching Sasuke. Maybe, said Naruto. There's an awful lot of episodes. What is it, like almost 300? Almost, agreed Kakashi. Why do I have a vague feeling of irony? Do you feel that too? We're not late, you're early, shouted Sakura, suddenly standing again and completely ignoring Kakashi and Naruto's discussion. Yeah, said Sasuke, why are you early? Let me guess, said Naruto. You're entering us into the Chunin exams. Got it in 1, said Kakashi, eyes smiling. How do you know? You're holding the application papers in your hand, deadpan Naruto. Good point, admitted Kakashi. He held out the applications. So, do you 3 want to enter? HN, said Sasuke affirmatively. This is the next step towards killing Itachi. If Sasuke is entering, I'm entering too. Sakura lost all sense of sense when around Sasuke. Why not? Said Naruto, shrugging and taking an application form. Excellent, said Kakashi, eyes smiling again. So, who wants to go for some ramen to celebrate? Yes, shouted Naruto. Ramen, are you buying? Kakashi rolled his eyes. Yes. Naruto, didn't you just eat 12 bowls of ramen 20 minutes ago? Asked Sakura. Yeah, so, said Naruto, ignoring the fact that Sakura was revealing that she had, in fact, been spying on Naruto. Too much ramen is bad for you, grumbled Sakura. There's no such thing as too much ramen, declared Naruto. Ramen is the most amazing food in the entire world. In the beginning, there was darkness. Then Kami said, let there be ramen. And then there was ramen. and that's how Kami created the universe. Kakashi blinked. Naruto, I don't think that's quite how it goes. Naruto was horrified. Haven't you people ever heard of string theory? The universe is made of the space-time continuum, which is a type of ramen broth, and matter is made up of particles which are really the ends of long strings of ramen noodle. Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke decided not to argue. Report, said an old man sitting behind a desk in his underground lair. His part of the room was shadowy, but the space in front of his desk, where a masked ninja knelt, was well lit. Sir, I followed Team 7 on their bandit killing mission and successfully observed the target's actions without being noticed. Target has excellent kunai throwing skills, probably Jonin level. He took down 12 bandits in the space of 1 second, all instant kill shots. Subsequently, Target displayed high speed in order to save a teammate from serious injury or possible death from an explosive tag trap. Again, Target's speed was consistent with use of a shunshin, though I was not close enough to see the accompanying blur, and the target did not use the customary distractive smoke or leaves. Target used earth release armor to protect himself from the effects of the explosion, though he was unable to prevent his teammate from suffering a broken arm. Target produced 6 shadow clones at once in order to check the bandits' tents for survivors. When the team headed back to Tanzakugai, said shadow clones were set to deconstruct the team's remaining traps. Following this, the target used shunshin, this time with smoke, and returned 3.5 minutes later with Tsunade of the Sannin, whom he claimed a familial relationship with, another woman whom he introduced as Shizune, and a domesticated pig. At that point, I retreated to avoid being detected in case Tsunade checked for observers using her well-known sensing abilities, and continued observing from a distance. Tsunade healed the injured team member. Then the team revisited the bandits' camp to collect their packed trap materials and returned to Konoha. Satisfactory, Hayo, said the old man in the shadows. This news is very concerning. Order Fu and Torun to report for orders immediately. Send word to council members Hamura and Koharu that I need to arrange a meeting for important business. Yes, Lord Danzo. The masked ninja vanished in a blur, the telltale sign of a shunshin. Naruto, how on earth do you eat so much? Asked Kakashi, sweating. Naruto was on his 15th bowl of ramen. Oh, said Naruto, that's simple. I'm eating for 2. He patted his belly. PPPFFFT. Kakashi's spit take spewed ramen broth all over Ikaraku's stand. Aha, shouted Naruto. The mask is a jinjutsu. Sakura and Sasuke looked at Naruto strangely. What? Said Naruto. Don't tell me you haven't wondered what's under the mask. Kai, said Sasuke and Sakura in unison. Not that kind of jinjutsu, said Naruto, shaking his head. It's a light reflecting illusion, like the Academy clone, except it's probably anchored to his chakra supply instead of being a separate chakra construct, so you couldn't dispel it even if you smacked him in the face. Very good deduction, Naruto, said Kakashi, using his chopsticks to pick up some noodles and eat them slowly, showing the noodles disappearing directly through the apparently cloth surface of the mask. That's freaky, Kakashi-sensei, said Sakura. And Naruto, where did you learn about this other type of jinjutsu? I didn't even know about that. Oh, Academy clone. Remember, I had a lot of trouble with that jutsu. I did some extra research in the library to help. Later, Kakashi took Naruto aside. Naruto, said Kakashi, completely serious. You know about that. Naruto got a look on his face that said Kakashi had spoken something totally stupid. How could I not, Kakashi-sensei? Have you seen the way the villagers treat me? I heard them talking about the fox years ago. Do you know there's a law that prevents people from talking about it? Naruto grinned smugly. I know. It's amazing blackmail material. Shuffle, shuffle. Naruto was, once more, walking down the street in his orange jumpsuit. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. A bush was following him. Shuffle, shuffle. That's right, a bush. A big round green shrub about 1.5 meters tall was shuffling along in his wake. Naruto stopped and turned around. Hey, Konohamaru, said Naruto as if the 8-year-old wasn't trying to hide in a bush. Who are your friends? FOOM. The shrub went up in a huge ball of flames. Oh, shouted a little girl with messy orange pigtails, jumping back from the fire. Kono, you use too much lighter fluid, shouted a boy with round glasses, limp brown hair and a permanently dopey look on his face. Sorry, said Konohamaru. Then he hissed, guys, we're supposed to do the introduction. Oh, right, said the girl. I'm Mogi, I'm Udon, and Konohamaru, and together we're the Konohamaru Corps. They shouted in unison. It was extremely cheesy, as in Okami kill me now, this is so embarrassing cheesy. Cool, shouted Naruto. But that last word is core, pronounced like apple core. The way you said it, it means dead body. Oh, we practiced it so many times, complained Udon. "That's okay," said Naruto. "You'll get it right next time." "Yeah, we'll get it next time," declared Konohamaru. "So boss, will you play ninja with us?" Naruto blinked at the sudden change in subject. He thought for a minute, then he grinned. "Sure," said Naruto. "I have the perfect idea for a mission. Gather round and I'll explain." The three kids formed a close circle with Naruto and leaned in to hear his plan. Sakura and Ino were, once again, following Naruto in hopes of catching him training. Hinata was with them, following Naruto in hopes of catching him as a boyfriend. They dashed from shadow to shadow, staying out of sight. Psst. The three of them turned around. Standing behind them was a girl about their age with bright yellow blonde pigtails, sun-kissed skin, and a body that could only be described as hot. In other words, her bust was way too big for a 12 or 13-year-old. "Kikayo," said Hinata. "President," greeted the new blonde cheerfully. "Are these two new club members?" Hinata sighed. "Kikayo, meet Ino and Sakura." "Ino, Sakura, meet Kikayo, the self-appointed vice president of the Naruto fan club, and until today, the only other member." "Sweet. Nice to meet you," said Kikayo. "So, what's our sexy hunk doing?" "Hang on," said Sakura. "We're not Naruto fangirls," said Ino. "Huh? You're not? Then why are you following him?" asked Kikayo. Ino and Sakura looked at each other. "We're trying to find out what he does for training," said Sakura. "Have you considered just going up and asking him?" suggested Kikayo. "Have you considered just going up and asking him for a date?" asked Ino. Hinata and Kikayo blushed. "Good point," they said in unison. "So," said Sakura, "Naruto was just talking to some little kids. One of them was the Hokage's grandson, right?" "Yup," confirmed Ino. "I heard him agree to play ninja with them." The four of them peeked around the corner. "Okay, here's the plan," said Naruto. "You see, I have a few people stalking me. He waved his hand around to include all four of them in the plan, "are going to stalk them and find out why they're stalking me." "Sounds good, boss," said Konohamaru. "But boss," said Mogi, "how are we going to hide and follow them if they're watching us right now?" "Good thinking. We'll need a distraction," said Naruto. "Can you guys do the clone jutsu?" "I can," said Konohamaru. Mogi and Udon shook their heads no. "That's okay," said Naruto. "I'll just make some clones that look like you too." "Okay, first thing is we need to do is wait until they're looking away from us. As soon as they're looking away, we'll make the clones, and we'll sneak away and come up behind them." "Got it." The Konohamaru Corps nodded their heads. "Alright, look at the reflection of the store window behind me. Can you see the three girls in the alley peeking out at us?" "Yeah, I see them, boss," whispered Konohamaru. "Good," said Naruto, pulling out a small mirror and cupping it in his hand so he could watch the store window. "When I say go, follow my lead." A blonde pigtailed girl appeared in the alley and distracted the three stalkers. "Go," whispered Naruto. "Konohamaru, make your clone." Konohamaru ran through the hand signs and produced a perfect Academy clone. Naruto did the same and produced 3 Academy clones, one of which was a copy of himself and the other 2 copies of Mogi and Udon. "Okay, follow me. Konohamaru, make your clone look like he's talking with the others like we were just now." The 4 of them dashed into an alley. They circled around, climbed a fire escape, and eventually reached the top of one of the buildings that made up the alley the girls hid in. Naruto grinned at the other 3, putting his finger to his lips in the universal signal for silence. Then he peeked over the edge. Mogi grinned and peeked over the edge. Udon grinned, sucked up some snot, and peeked over the edge. Konohamaru was sweating. He had to maintain concentration on his clone while climbing a fire escape and following Naruto. He caught his breath, grinned, and peeked as well. This was exciting. So, they heard Sakura say, Naruto was just talking to some little kids. One of them was the Hokage's grandson, right? Yup, came Ino's voice. I heard him agree to play ninja with them. The 4 stalkers in the alley below peeked around the edge, looking at the 4 clones which stood huddled together down the street, apparently in a quiet discussion. "Who plays ninja with little kids anyway?" commented Sakura. "We're real ninja, why would he want to play a stupid kid's game?" That was when it all went to hell. Konohamaru lost concentration on his clone for a moment. "Hang on," whispered Ino. "Did the Hokage's grandson just flicker?" "I saw that too," whispered Hinata. "Byakugan. They're all clones. But where are the real ones?" asked Sakura. Hinata looked around for a moment. Then she gasped and looked up. Naruto waved. Hinata fainted. Konohamaru decided he didn't need the clone anymore, so he dropped it. Then he yelled, "Hey, playing ninja is not stupid." "Yeah," chimed in Mogi. "Aren't you playing ninja too? Why were you following Sniff, the boss?" asked Udon. "None of your business," shouted Sakura, shaking her fist at them. Hey boss, said Konohamaru, is she a fangirl? You told me about fangirls, they're ugly. And stupid, said Mogi. And they follow around people who don't like them, said Udon. Konohamaru, said Naruto. Yeah boss, remember the other thing I said about fangirls? They're scary. Sakura growled and started running up the side of the building. Run, shouted Naruto. And they ran. Across rooftops, down fire escapes, through alleys, through crowds. Konohamaru bumped into a weird-looking teenager wearing pajamas and makeup. But Naruto picked him up in no time and they kept running, ignoring the hey of the strangely dressed boy. Still, the pink-haired banshee followed. I'll get you brats, screamed Sakura. Konohamaru shouted, I know. Come on, this way, and dashed off in a different direction. They weaved off towards the Hokage tower. Grandpa, protect us, puffed Konohamaru, bursting into the Hokage's office. The other three dashed in behind him and slammed the door. Hiruzen looked up from his paperwork. From what? Crazy, puffed Udon. Fangirl, puffed Mogi. They heard a bang. Bang, on the door. You can't hide from me, brats. Oh no, she's here, whispered Naruto, looking around the room with a terrified look on his face. He produced 2 shadow clones, and each of the 3 Narutos grabbed an 8-year-old and leapt into the rafters of the high ceiling. SHH, cautioned the 3 Narutos, each one putting a finger on the lips of the academy student he was holding while hanging upside down from the ceiling. Just in time too, as the doors came down with an almighty crash. Where are they? Screamed Sakura, stomping into the room. The Hokage raised an eyebrow at Sakura from behind his desk. Sakura gulped. Said Hiruzen, staring sternly at Sakura. Sorry Lord Hokage, squeaked Sakura, and she dashed out of the room at a speed that was rather impressive for a genin. Phew, said Naruto. That was close, said Mogi. Hi Mr. ANBU, said Konohamaru, waving at an ANBU who was hanging upside down from the ceiling in front of him. You could practically feel the ANBU's amusement. The Naruto clone holding Udon chipped in. Can we get down from here before Udon's snot string reaches all the way to the floor? Naruto shrugged and produced another clone. The new clone made the hand seals for a water jutsu and said, Snot release, snot dragon no jutsu. Udon's snot drip expanded, turned into an oriental dragon-shaped snot missile, detached itself from his nose, whirled around, and flew out the window. Mogi, Hiruzen, and the ANBU looked faintly repulsed. Udon and Konohamaru looked at Naruto like he was the second coming of the sage. Everyone ignored the cry of outrage from somewhere in the village. The 3 Narutos walked down the wall. Sorry about the door, Gramps, said Naruto. Oh, don't worry about it, said Hiruzen, smiling. The Yondaime had the doors made so that they wouldn't be damaged if someone smashed them down. Watch, he performed some hand seals and the doors flew back into their places. Seriously, he invented a jutsu just to fix the office doors. When Tsunade was in the village, she smashed them down 2 or 3 times a week. Oh, Naruto nodded. Yeah, I can imagine that. Back in the alley, Kikaya watched as Hinata headed home, no longer able to stalk the boy she liked. The blonde-haired girl shifted, revealing the form of one of Naruto's clones. The Naruto clone pursed his lips for a second, wondering if being the vice president of his own fan club was a sign of insanity. Then he dispersed in a puff of smoke. 1 week later, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto showed up at the building where the Chunin exams were to be held. Come on, said Naruto. Let's go around the back and use the window. Sakura took a swipe at Naruto's head. Why would we do that, idiot? Naruto ducked the swipe and said, What? Kakashi-sensei does it all the time. He says, real ninja don't use doors. HN, said Sasuke, rather appropriately for once. If we did what Kakashi does all the time, we'd be lost on the road of life. Fine, said Naruto, you win this one. My name is Rock Lee. You are Sakura, are you not? Will you go on a date with me? Asked the mini-guy clone in green spandex, a bowl haircut and big, fat caterpillar eyebrows. His teeth sparkled as he grinned. Absolutely not. Lee instantly sank into a comical depression. Please, at least tell me why. Sakura blinked at the sudden change in mood. I like Sasuke. Lee's mood changed again. Sasuke, of the Uchiha clan. You are Sasuke Uchiha, the genius and rookie of the year. I challenge you to a match. YOSH. Let us test each other in youthful battle to see which is the better ninja. HM. I accept. Sasuke was itching to test himself against someone strong, and this green-clad genin had just effortlessly stopped his strongest kick. The surrounding teams, who had been trying and failing to get past the 2 Chunin guards' genjutsu, watched interestedly. Naruto, taking in the situation, snickered. Alright, everyone clear a space, announced Naruto. Come one, come all. We are about to witness a match between 2 manly men whose hearts belong to the beautiful Sakura. The winner will get to go on a date with the lady. Are these terms acceptable to all parties? Lee looked surprised, but he grinned. Indeed, Naruto, these terms are most youthful. I accept. HN, said Sasuke, trying to ignore Naruto's antics. I'll take that as a yes. Sekira's brain finally caught up. Cha, Sasuke will beat that freak in 5 seconds. Go Sasuke. Wait, I'm gonna go on a date with Sasuke dear. SQUE. I'll take that as a yes. Sasuke glowered at Naruto and opened his mouth to say something. Unfortunately, he was interrupted. YOSH. Naruto, will you start the match? Lee was in an unusual taijutsu stance, with one arm straight out in front of him, palm up. Alright, warriors, are you ready? Begin. Sasuke growled. But he focused on his opponent, clenched his fists, and charged Lee. Lee blocked Sasuke's punch and kicked him in the jaw with all his strength. It was an instant knockout. Winner, Lee. Deadpan Naruto, like he had seen it coming all along. Which he had. Lee appeared in front of Sakura again and grabbed her hand. Sakura, I have defeated my opponent. Where would you like to go on our date? His huge bushy eyebrows wiggled in her face. Okay. I said no. Sakura raised her fist and pounded Lee on the head, knocking him to the floor. They're both so loud, said a disguised Kotsu, who had been watching the match with everyone else. And they both hit so hard, said a similarly disguised Izumo. It's like a match made in heaven, said Kotsu, sarcastically. Imagine the kids, said Izumo, not so sarcastically. They both imagined a couple of mini-Lees shouting and screaming and running around in green spandex with bowl cuts and bushy eyebrows. In pink. Dialogue. I need brain bleach, exclaimed Kotsu. Sasuke groaned as slowly became conscious. Why did his head hurt so much? And what was that annoying voice? Scratch that. What were those annoying voices? Are you okay, Sasuke dear? Asked Sakura's voice. He's okay, said Naruto's voice, sounding oddly strangled. He's better off than us, said Naruto. At least he missed the sunset of youth. Oh yeah, guy had shown up while Sasuke was knocked out. Don't remind me, Naruto. It was bad enough watching it once. I don't need to suffer flashbacks. Sasuke suddenly noticed that Sakura's voice was oddly close. He opened his eyes. GAH, shouted Sasuke when he realized his head was on Sakura's lap. He shot to his feet and backed away quickly. Naruto snickered. He seemed to be snickering a lot lately. Look at the time, said Naruto. We gotta go. Indeed, they only had 5 minutes to get up to the next floor and into the testing room. Meanwhile, deep underground in a secret meeting room. You summoned us, Danzo, said Koharu. The 3 Konoha council elders, Koharu, Hamura, and Danzo, sat around a polished table in very comfy meeting chairs. Yes, said Danzo. I am concerned about the loyalty of our Jinchuriki. I have received reliable reports that indicate he has received training from persons unknown. None of the 3 noticed the small brown ant in a corner of the ceiling. Team 7 entered the exam hall just in time to hear the examiner, Ibiki Morino, yell at the genin to shut up and take their seats. They quickly joined the rest in shuffling into their seats. Naruto listened to the rules and read the questions on his test sheet. Honestly, for a guy who had read the entire Konoha Shinobi library, those questions weren't difficult at all. But the real test was clearly something else. Naruto quickly came to a decision. He filled out 8 of the 9 questions with purposefully incorrect answers, and filled in 1 question on the back of the sheet with the correct answer. Then he placed the sheet face up on his desk so that anyone peeking at his sheet would only see wrong answers, yawned, slumped in his seat, and closed his eyes. He ignored the killing intent sent his way by dozens of genin who were decidedly not impressed by his show of boredom. He ignored the erasers thrown at him by Sasuke and Sakura. He even pretended to sleep through the explanation of the 10th question. Bang! Ibiki's fist came down on Naruto's desk. Wake up, brat. Naruto yawned and stretched. Good morning, beautiful, said Naruto, smiling blissfully. Ibiki raised his killing intent. What up? Said Naruto, blinking and looking around. Everyone was staring at him. Oh, is the test over? Ibiki stared at Naruto. Then he snorted and said, you pass. What? Shouted several of the other genin who were waiting for the 10th question. You all pass, said Ibiki. But you didn't give us the 10th question, said someone. I don't get it, wondered Naruto. Mister, Proctor said we passed. Why are you objecting? Do you not want to pass? Arg, I just want to know why, idiot. Ibiki explained that the 10th question was to test whether they had the nerve to put their careers on the line. But why did you let the idiot pass? He was sleeping through the whole thing. Are you questioning me? Ibiki glared. It was even scarier with his bandana off and his scars showing. Naruto grinned. He liked this guy. Most people would have explained, but Ibiki, apparently, really did know the value of information. Plus he was cool. Then something crashed through the window. A banner unfurled and got pinned to the ceiling with 2 kunai, and a purple-haired woman in risque clothing appeared from inside the banner. Heads up, boys and girls. This is no time to be celebrating. I'll be your next proctor, Anko Mitarashi. You ready for the second test? Good, then let's go. Follow me. Silence. That was awesome, Databeo, shouted Naruto, pumping his fist. Anko grinned. Glad to know someone appreciates my entrances. Naruto pulled out a white card with a 9 on it and held it up. What? Only a 9 out of 10. What gives? Asked Anko, pouting. Naruto pointed a finger at Anko. You need more orange, he declared. Anko made a hand sign and performed a henge. Her trench coat turned the same brilliant orange as Naruto's jumpsuit. Like this? She asked, grinning. That's perfect, said Naruto, switching his 9 card for one that said 10. Okami, there's 2 of them, groaned Sakura. The second part of the test has begun, shouted Anko, her trench coat still a blinding orange. 23 teams of genin dashed into the forest, each from a separate gate. Team 7 stopped a little way into the forest. Alright guys, let's head straight for the tower, said Naruto. What? Why should we do that, Naruto? Said Sakura. Naruto shrugged and pulled out a heaven and an earth scroll. What? When did you get that earth scroll? Asked Sakura in shock. When we received our heaven scroll, of course. Some team out there was given a fake. Naruto grinned like a fox. Sasuke objected to Naruto's proposal. I still want to test myself against some of the other teams. Seriously, Sasuke, you want to risk the lives of your teammates so you can have fun, drawled Naruto. It's not like any of them are strong enough to hurt me. Naruto snickered. That big purple bruise on your chin says otherwise. And too bad, cause I ain't giving you a choice. Naruto vanished and reappeared behind Sasuke and Sakura. He grabbed each of them with an arm around the back, and all 3 blurred away in a shunshin. Now the shunshin technique involves wrapping chakra around the outside of your body and using it to propel yourself in a straight line at an extreme speed. Anyone without powerfully enhanced vision, such as a Sharingan, sees no more than a blur. It also tends to give the user tunnel vision, and usually requires hand seals, so it is mostly useless in a fight against mid to upper level opponents. That is, of course, unless you had enhanced vision and practiced until you could do the jutsu without hand seals, like Shisui Uchiha, or Naruto, who channeled chakra into his eyes and optic nerves until he could see very well indeed. Neither Sakura, who had no dojutsu or vision enhancing techniques, nor Sasuke, who had not yet awakened his Sharingan, were prepared for the sudden extreme speed, and they weren't even looking in the right direction to see where they were going. Screamed Sakura all the way to the tower as Naruto rapidly made one shunshin jump after another. Sasuke managed to stay silent. Barely. Both of them retched and emptied their stomachs when they reached the tower. Meanwhile, Naruto unfurled the scrolls. Haruka appeared. The Nidaime was responsible for creating many of the traditional institutions of Konoha, lectured Haruka, including the Shinobi Academy, the ANBU Corps, the T&I department, and the Chunin exams. Alright class, time for a pop quiz. Naruto. Hi Haruka-sensei. Naruto waved his hand and grinned. Why? Haruka looked around. Then he looked down and saw the unrolled heaven and earth scrolls. You finished the second stage already. Yup. Naruto nodded. Just in time to save your poor students from a pop quiz. You finished in what Haruka looked at the clock, less than a minute. 40 seconds, actually, chirped Naruto. You just didn't notice after we summoned you for about 15 seconds. How on earth did you do that? Demanded Haruka. He knew Naruto was capable of getting away with some pretty crazy stuff due to his pranks, but this should be impossible even for Jonin. Never underestimate the power of the invincible Uchiha, declared Naruto. Haruka looked at Naruto's 2 teammates, who had just finished emptying their stomachs and were giving death glares to Naruto. Hey, look, said Naruto. He activated his spinny eye thingy. Haruka looked at Sasuke's eyes, which had turned red and had 1 tomo each. It's called the Sharingan, Naruto. And what, pray tell, did you do to the invincible Uchiha to make him activate his Sharingan and throw up? I dunno, said Naruto, shrugging innocently. We got here and they just started retching for some reason. Pull the other one, said Haruka. He was well used to the innocent face Naruto used after a prank. Naruto snickered. Surprise shunshin trip. Well, that certainly explains the barfing. Wait, you know the shunshin. Naruto grinned and used the smoke shunshin to move 2 meters to one side. Then he shunshined back. When he reappeared in a second puff of smoke, he was holding a plate. Want some dango? Offered Naruto. Haruka blinked. Sure. Where do you get the dango? Just then, they all heard a distant female voice scream. Who stole my dango? Yo, said Naruto an hour and a half later. Facing him was a girl with 4 short blonde pigtails and a long rectangular box-shaped object attached to her back. A taller boy wearing purple face paint and wearing a large wrapped package on his back. And a boy who was even shorter than Naruto carrying an enormous sand-colored gourd on his back. This team apparently liked carrying big things on their backs. The Sabakus, am I right? Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you. You guys got here fast. Temari Sabaku, the girl said politely. And not as fast as you, apparently. Kankuro Sabaku, said makeup boy. I am Gaara Sabaku, said Gird boy. Mother wants your blood. Gaara was leaking killing intent and demonic chakra. Naruto quirked an eyebrow. She wants my blood. What for? And how much does she want? Mother wants to drink your blood. And she says. Gaara blinked slowly, dropping the killing intent. A little bit will do. Well, I wouldn't object to letting her have a little bit, as long as she isn't going to use it to, like, break into my security seals or something. And blood's not cheap, so if she wants more than a couple drops I'm going to have to ask for something in exchange. Temari and Kankuro gaped. Gaara's brow scrunched in a confused expression. Does your mother want my blood? No, nothing like that, said Naruto. I want information. This exchange is acceptable, said Gaara after some thought. Wait, said Temari. Gaara shut her up with a glare. Usually you ask what information someone is asking for before you agree to give it away, said Naruto. Very well. What information are you asking for? Well, said Naruto. What's your mother's name? It seems like you have a demon sealed inside you. Is she your mother? And are you leaking demonic chakra on purpose or is your seal faulty? Mother is the demon of the sand. She says her name is Shukaku. Gaara pronounced the name slowly, as if it was the first time he spoke it. I am leaking demonic chakra. Yeah, just a bit. Anyone with the ability to sense chakra could find you in no time. It also tends to scare away animals and make most people slightly uneasy around you. Maybe we can get permission to look at your seal and, if necessary, fix it. Suna is allies with Konoha, you know. If the seal is fixed, will I be able to sleep? Naruto was horrified. You can't sleep. If I sleep, mother takes over. Well, we definitely need your seal looked at then. If we fix it, you will be able to sleep with no problems. Unfortunately, I don't think Suna would be very happy if a Konoha ninja messed with your seal without permission, so we probably should ask first. I don't see why they would refuse though. I will ask Baki-sensei. Great, said Naruto, smiling. Now, blood. He unsealed a drinking glass. Using a kunai, Naruto cut open his palm without so much as a wince and filled the glass halfway before the blood stopped coming from the wound. Naruto wrapped a bandage around his palm to hide the fact that the wound was closing by itself. Is that enough? Asked Naruto. In answer, a thick tendril of sand reached out of Gaara's gourd and took the glass from Naruto's hand. Moments later, the sand covered the glass completely and crushed it, letting the blood soak into the sand. Did Shukaku find out anything from my blood? Asked Naruto, watching curiously. Gaara stared at Naruto and blinked slowly. 9, he asked. Naruto nodded solemnly. Also, said Gaara, you're type A positive and you have some kind of chakra-based bloodline, though mother cannot tell if it's activated or not. And the Y chromosome says you're definitely male. That's good to know, thanks, said Naruto happily. Temari could no longer contain herself. You're both really weird, you know that right? Of course, said Naruto. Whoa, deja vu. Kankuro cracked up. Hey, you're wearing cat pajamas and purple makeup. You're weirder than we are. Kankuro stopped laughing instantly and glared at Naruto. What did you just say? Kankuro, said Gaara flatly, you're wearing cat pajamas and purple makeup. Anko Mitarashi was beyond pissed. Not only did someone murder 3 grass genin, that someone was Orochimaru, her former sensei. Adding to her anger was the fact that said former sensei had masqueraded as a genin and more or less got the jump on her during her introduction to the second phase of the exam. And worst of all, someone stole her dango. Anko rocketed through the forest of death, searching for Orochimaru's chakra signature. Giant tigers, spiders, and bears ran away or hid as she passed. There, that foul purple chakra. And he's not alone. Orochimaru, screamed Anko. Coo, laughed Orochimaru in a creepy sibilant voice, still wearing the female grass genin's face. Little Anko, look at you, one of the elite, and then he turned around and looked at Anko. You're wearing orange? Where the fuck did you find something so blinding? Just one question before I kill you, ground out Anko, releasing all her chakra and killing intent at once. I'm afraid I'm going to have to turn you down, said Orochimaru, smirking. I still have to find that little Uchiha boy and gift him with my seal. But I'll humor you for a moment. What question do you have for your dear old sensei? The idea, you steal my Dango. If his stolen face were not already bloodless, Orochimaru would have paled. He knew how Anko was when it came to Dango. As it was, he did the first thing that came to mind. Kabuto, stall her, ordered Orochimaru. Then he turned tail and ran. Anko flew at Orochimaru. She was forced to finally take notice of his companion as Kabuto intercepted her with glowing chakra scalpels. Anko Mitarashi, said Kabuto in a very stereotypical warrior's introduction. Special Jonin of Konoha, former student of Lord Orochimaru and the only other summoner of the snake contract. You're good, but let's see how you do against someone of the same caliber as Kakashi the copy nin. Comparing himself to Kakashi might have been a bit arrogant, and little did Kabuto know, even Kakashi feared to steal Anko's Dango. Grah! Screamed Anko. Fire release, fire dragon, striking shadow snakes, poison mist. She threw scores of senbon needles and kunai. Kunai shadow clone no jutsu. Fire release, fire dragon, wind release, great breakthrough. Kabuto dodged the first fire dragon, disabled the snakes with his chakra scalpels, and ignored the poison mist. He blocked or dodged all of the kunai but was struck with several poison senbon. He used a kawarami to escape the massively multiplied kunai when Anko used the kunai shadow clone technique. And that was when his luck ran out. Anko's second fire dragon was aimed at the ground where Kabuto appeared, and her wind jutsu slammed into the fire dragon from behind, causing a massive explosion of fire that Kabuto was caught in. He tried to dodge, but he went down with his legs charred, and most of his torso, and one of his arms covered in third-degree burns. Anko spared a glance in the direction Orochimaru had run. She knew how fast that bastard could be when he was running away, so there was no chance of catching up with him. So she figured a rat in the hand is worth two in a hole. Kabuto's screams rang through the night. It turned out to be very, very handy to have a prisoner who could heal himself when you sliced bits off of him. Team 10 hid in the bushes as a team from Takagakure landed in the clearing where they had stood moments earlier. Shikamaru peered out through a crack at their feet. Perfect. They're all facing away from us. Kage main success, said Shikamaru. Attack plan 1. Go. What? Why can't I move? Ino and Choji were surprised by the sudden change of pace from hiding to attack, but they performed as ordered. Ino knelt from behind the low bushes and used her family's jutsu to take over one of the team. Shikamaru released that one while Ino used his body to knock out the other two. Finally, Choji used his human boulder attack to smash into the one Ino had used an instant after she released her jutsu. It was a classic Ino Shikacho ambush. Perfect, said Choji, searching the Taki team's packs as the other two stood guard. Found some chocolate and granola bars. Ino groaned. Just find their scroll already. Oh, yeah, they've got a heaven scroll. I found that a few minutes ago. Shikamaru rolled his eyes. Now that we've got a heaven and an earth scroll, all we need to do is get to the tower. Choji, hide that scroll. Okay, said Choji, and they moved off. Team 10 heard a shrill cry on their way to the tower. Hey, where did everyone go? Shikamaru prepared to direct the team on a detour to avoid the commotion when he heard a loud thumping and a deep, beastly roar. Someone's in trouble, and not from another team, said Shikamaru. Shall we check it out? Ino looked unsure. That growl sounded scary. It could be one of our friends, said Choji. Let's go then, agreed Ino. It turned out to be an enormous, 3-story tall bear chasing a red-headed girl who looked to be about a year younger than the members of Team 10. She had just tripped on a root. Shikamaru ran through the full hand seals of his family's signature jutsu. Kage main no jutsu, he shouted, attacking with his shadow. The bear froze. Then it growled. Ino, I can't hold it for long. See if you can possess it. Shintenshin no jutsu, shouted Ino. Her body immediately collapsed as she took control of the bear. Shikamaru dropped control of his technique, and Ino turned the bear around, trying to make it lumber off into the woods. Then the bear roared and reared up on its hind legs. Ino gasped. There's something wrong with its mind. I can't possess it properly. Shit, said Shikamaru. This is gonna be such a drag. Alright, I need a good-sized rock. There, got one. As the huge bear turned around and faced the team again, Shikamaru picked up a large rock about the size of his head and shifted it to his left hand, holding it at shoulder height. He made a one-handed seal with his right hand and blurred in a shunshin. WHUMP. Blood sprayed from the side of the bear's head and it was knocked sideways. Shikamaru reappeared in the air 20 meters away from the bear, no longer holding the rock. He fell to the ground and rolled to break his fall. Ino gaped. Damn, Shika, where do you learn to do that? Shunshin, I learned it from a scroll. Good way of getting places without having to walk. This was, in fact, true. Shikamaru had actually learned it from a scroll and taught Naruto and Shino. Did you just kill that bear by throwing a rock at it? Said Ino. Yup, said Shikamaru. He approached the red-headed girl they had just saved. Hey, are you alright? Why yes, said the girl, retrieving her glasses and standing up. Thank you for saving me. It was no trouble, said Shikamaru. Then he realized what he'd said. I mean, it was very troublesome, but we're glad we did it. The girl giggled and blushed. I'm Karin Uzumaki. What's your name? Uzumaki. I'm Shikamaru Nara. Did you know the Uzumaki clan heir is a Konoha ninja? Karin blinked in surprise. Really? Do you think I can meet him? Remember the loud blonde guy wearing orange who slept through the first phase? Naruto Uzumaki. He seemed kind of stupid. Are you sure he's the clan heir? Ino can tell you that Naruto was only pretending to be stupid. Right, Ino? Yeah, I think so. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Shikamaru, how did you do that with the rock? Shunshin isn't meant to do that. Shikamaru sighed. Troublesome. To perform the Shunshin, you wrap chakra around your body and propel yourself in a straight line at high speed. In order to stop yourself again, you have to apply the same force in an opposite direction with your chakra when you reach your destination. Simple physics. All I did was neglect to wrap chakra around the rock when I stopped myself at the end of the Shunshin, and the rock kept flying at full speed. Anyway, Karin, what happened to your team? Karin looked nervous. They left me behind. They left you to get eaten by a bear, asked Choji. Well, their plan was for me to act as bait. That's why I was carrying our Earth Scroll in the open. But when the bear came, I think they ran away. Well, said Shikamaru, sorry to say it sounds like your team won't be passing. If they think you've been eaten by a bear, they won't come back for you, which means your best bet is to come with us to the tower. Or, hang on a sec. Shikamaru reached into a pocket and pulled out a card with a seal inscribed on it. He channeled chakra into it and held it to his ear. Naruto, said Shikamaru. It's Shika. Of course you've finished the second phase already. We've discovered a little cousin of yours and rescued her from a bear. Yes, cousin. She says she's an Uzumaki. Got the hair for it too, unlike you. Well, it looks like her team has abandoned her and they probably think she's been eaten, so I'm thinking. Yeah, my location. Anytime now would be good. Shikamaru took the card off his ear and stuck it back in his pocket. Moments later, Naruto appeared. Yo, said Naruto. Hi Shika, Ino, Choji. Whoa, bear. Well, looks like we got enough to feed Choji. And you must be the Uzumaki Shikamaru mentioned. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. It's nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Karin Uzumaki. Are you really the clan heir? And what happened to all the orange? Naruto chuckled. I don't wear orange when I'm on a serious mission. As for the clan heir thing, well, my mom was Kushina Uzumaki, the princess of Whirlpool. Mom told me about her. Karin's face turned sad. Is your mom? Asked Shikamaru. Karin nodded sadly. She passed away 4 years ago. Those Kusagakure doctors killed her. They drained her chakra until she died. She had the healing chakra bloodline. Asked Naruto. Yes, so do I, said Karin. She showed her arm, which had faint human bite marks in various places. I take it you don't want to go back to Kusa, said Naruto, his face impassive. Karin looked hopeful. Won't they make me a missing nin? Naruto and Shikamaru looked at each other, smirked, and spoke in unison. Not if we fake your death. After sealing the bear in a scroll and modifying the scene to look like the bear had swallowed Karin and walked away, as well as erasing all traces of Team 10's passage, it was time to leave. Welp, I guess my shadow clone will see you guys at the tower in half an hour or so. Word of warning, Sasuke has his Sharingan now, so be careful with the hand seals. What do? Hit him with your full killing intent. Joked Shikamaru. Surprise Shunshin trip. All the way through the forest. Let me guess. You stole Anko's dango and you wanted to make sure you were out of the blast radius. Naruto grinned. You know me too well. Where are you taking Karin? Asked Ino. First rule of keeping secrets. Don't tell people your secrets. Can I have the bear? Asked Choji. Naruto threw him the scroll containing the bear. Make sure you give Shika one of the eye teeth. He killed it, it's tradition. Seriously, Naruto, said Shikamaru. Those teeth are huge. It's not like I can put it on a necklace, then turn it into a hat or something. Will I see Shikamaru again? Asked Karin. Probably, said Naruto. Me and Shika are good friends. Not for a while though. We gotta change your look. Make sure the Kusa people don't catch on that you're alive. Why? Karin blushed, stepped up to Shikamaru, and kissed him on the cheek. Thank you, she whispered. Shikamaru froze, eyes wide. He blushed, and his hand went to his cheek where Karin had kissed him. Wow, said Naruto. He grinned. Alright, see you guys later. Ino, remember, this is not gossip. Don't tell anyone, especially not Sakura. Got it. Ino pouted. Ino, fine, I got it Naruto. Alright, Karin, said Naruto once they were alone. Hang tight and close your eyes. I'm gonna take you to meet our aunt. Perhaps it would be best if Koharu and I took care of spreading the rumors, Hamura suggested. Your root ninja are not the most adept at social skills. Indeed, Koharu agreed, not that they aren't excellent ninja, Danzo, but they come across as rather robotic, and we can't risk suspicion if we want this to appear to be a grassroots movement. Danzo's brow furrowed. I suppose that would be best, he said, but I was hoping to avoid requiring you to go on an active mission at your advanced age. Bah, Koharu said. My bones may be old, but I'll be dead before I can't do a simple henge. Very well, Danzo replied, you have 1 month. We'll execute the final phase of the plan on August 2nd at the council meeting for the CHNIN promotions, and by then, we'll need all of the council members on our side. Koharu and Hamura exited the meeting room and exited the underground hideout. Danzo shook his head. Shunshine, a root ninja, knelt in front of him. Sir, we will add a Jinkriki to the ranks in 1 month. Prepare a holding cell and chakra-resistant restraints. We will need to alter our standard conditioning regime to control the beast sealed in the boy. Take every precaution, we do not want it to escape. Sir, yes, dismissed. The best ramen in the world, according to Tsunade, can be found in the land of vegetables. Surprisingly, most people seem to expect good ramen in the land of noodles, but the truth was that noodles could be transported almost anywhere without losing quality, whereas vegetables couldn't. And, as the name implied, the country Tsunade and Shizune were visiting now grew the best vegetables in the world. That's why the two of them, along with Tauntaun, we're having dinner in a small restaurant in the land of vegetables. I'll have a stir-fry, please, Shizune said. 1 chicken and shrimp ramen, please, Tsunade requested. The waitress took a note and went to the kitchen to relay their orders. Shizune laughed. Ramen, if Naruto could see you right now. Shut up, Tsunade said, scanning the room. He might appear if you talk about him. You know, he always appears when we're eating, drinking, or gambling. Who always appears when you're eating, drinking, or gambling? Auntie Tsunade. Naruto inquired. Did I just hear the word ramen? Tsunade blinked, surprised at her own surprise. How did you find us this time? Naruto. Oh, it's so simple. Smugly grinned Naruto. You were thinking about ramen, which naturally led to thinking about your favorite nephew, and I could feel the love all the way in Konoha, so I came. See, Shizune, speak of the devil, and he will appear. Are you going to introduce your friend, Naruto? Aunt Tsunade, Shizune, this is Karin Uzumaki. Karin, this is Tsunade Senju and Shizune Kato, and that's Tauntaun. Is Tsunade of the Sanin your aunt? Exclaimed Karin. Yeah, and apparently she's your aunt, or cousin, or something. Auntie, don't you have some kind of DNA or chakra test to see how closely we're related? Tsunade received the message. Naruto needed her to confirm that Karin was indeed an Uzumaki. HMPH, she grumbled. Something along those lines, brats. Karin, what's your favorite type of ramen? Shizune and Naruto exchanged smirking glances. Nice to see you're finally embracing your Uzumaki ancestry, Auntie, Naruto said. Don't be like that, Tsunade said. Naruto, I'm not sure if you've ever been here before, but the land of vegetables has the best ramen in the entire world, so I always make an exception when I come here. What are you talking about? Ikaraku's has the best ramen in the world. I've had Ikaraku's, and while it's not bad, the stuff they make here is on another level. Wait, Karin interjected. Isn't the land of vegetables on the other side of the land of water? Yes, exclaimed Naruto. Welcome to the veggie land. But we were only recently in Konoha. Yes, and now we've arrived. But how? It's one of the universe's mysteries. We were there, and now we're here, but no time has passed between. It is not for us to know, nor is it for us to ask, how this has come to pass. All we can do is give thanks and praise the ramen. Naruto said solemnly. You're just being ridiculous now, Karin said. Anyway, Naruto said, turning to face Tsunade and abruptly changing the subject. I was hoping you could keep Karin with you until the end of the CHNIN exams because she was unwillingly conscripted by Kusagakure, and while Shika and I faked her death, it's best if we keep her away from Grass Ninja for a while. And what do I gain from this, brat? Does she have the Uzumaki healing chakra? Tsunade was the next to gape. Damn, kid. Okay, Karin, you have 1 month to prove to me that you're apprentice material. Now, what's your favorite type of ramen? Anko arrived with a leaf shunshin on the top floor of the Forest of Death's central tower. I have urgent news, Lord Hokage, she said to the village leader, dropping a hog-tied kabuto like a sack of rice. Naruto was summoned to the hideout by his spy clone on the second day of the CHNIN exams. Report, Naruto said, sitting in a meditative position on his couch once more. "We have a number of important and urgent alerts," said the spy clone, who was dressed in black with only his eyes visible. First, Anko Mitarashi, the second phase proctor, reported to the Hokage that she discovered Orochimaru, the traitor Sannin, in the Forest of Death yesterday. She captured Kabuto Yakashi, who appears to be working for Orochimaru. When Orochimaru fled and used Kabuto as a distraction for Anko, she proceeded to do a field interrogation of Kabuto and discovered that Oto under Orochimaru. On a related note, don't get caught stealing Anko's dango again. The Hokage has assigned a CH-nin to go undercover and get himself hired at the Whirlwind Postal Office. Whirlwind must turn him down with a suitable excuse. Last word. Yesterday, Koharu, Hamura, and Danzo had an interesting meeting. Danzo received the report from the drone you saw following you during the Tanzakugai mission with Konoha Team 7. Furthermore, we have information from his spies as well as his plans for you. It's probably best if you just go over the memories again. Naruto closed his eyes, nodded, and the clone vanished in a puff of smoke. It took him 20 minutes to open his eyes and say, "Training. Apprentices. Whirlwind. Have you called, boss?" Naruto's office was visited by the head training clone. "Yo," said the delivery man clone. "What's going on?" The clone of the head apprentice appeared. "New memories and orders," Naruto said, creating a normal shadow clone that dispelled immediately. While the three were processing the memories, Naruto recreated the spy clone and created another clone, this time wearing his orange jumpsuit. Begin Whirlpool Project. Gaara was bored. It was the third day of the CH-nin exams, and he was stuck in a tower. Baki-sensei said he wasn't allowed to kill anyone, so he sat in his team's assigned room, making a miniature sand sculpture of the village of Suna. Then he created a miniature Godzilla and had it smash through the miniature Suna until all that remained was miniature sand dunes. "Hello, Gaara. What are you doing?" inquired a cheerful voice from Gaara's room's doorway. Gaara did not respond. Was his activity concealed? "Whoa," Naruto exclaimed, "is that you, Suna?" Gaara nodded as she looked up at Naruto. "That's really cool. What about the people?" said Naruto as he watched Gaara finish detailing the Kage tower. Gaara gave Naruto a blank stare before beginning to create motionless people figures standing in the streets and on top of buildings. "Can you get them to move?" Naruto inquired. "Not enough control." Gaara shook his head. Grumbled Naruto. "Why don't you let me make the people here?" Gaara, intrigued, sucked the people figures back into his gourd, while Naruto formed a cross-shaped hand seal, concentrated, and said, "Shadow clone jutsu in multiples." The entire miniature village was suddenly populated by miniature Naruto clones in orange jumpsuits, each of whom transformed into a random civilian. "Gaara, how does the Kage appear?" Gaara transformed into the Kage using the henge, complete with robes and hat, while Naruto created another shadow clone standing on top of the cage tower that looked exactly like Gaara's henge. Gaara smirked and waved his hand, summoning a sand Godzilla. "Kankuro, do you hear what I'm saying?" Temari inquired. Kankuro fell silent, and they could hear screaming and maniacal laughter. "That sounds like it's coming from our room," Temari stated. "Gaara's in there?" Kankuro paused, trying to hide his fear. "Let's get started," Temari exclaimed as she dashed down the corridor. The two older Sabaku siblings burst into the room to find Gaara and that strange blonde kid, Uzumaki, sitting cross-legged on the floor around a miniature sand model of Suna, about 2 meters wide. A sand Godzilla, about the size of a house cat, was rampaging through the city, screaming and running around stupidly with their hands in the air. Temari and Kankuro stood there gaping. The mini Kage raised his hands, shouting incoherently, and Gaara directed a mini blast of sand from around the cage tower to form into spikes and shoot themselves at Godzilla, who just batted them aside and made as if to roar while Gaara himself produced the sound effects, before charging, smashing through buildings and choking down and turning him into smoke. Godzilla turned to face the crowd as Gaara snickered and wiggled his fingers. "Let's make this a little more interesting," Naruto said, pointing out various mini people. You, and you are now ninjas," he commanded, pointing out various mini people. His shadow clones transformed themselves into Suna's CH-nin and J-nin uniforms, leaped onto roofs, and began shooting fireballs at the monster. Unfortunately, this only aided in the destruction of the miniature Suna, because when the fireballs collided with Godzilla, they created a miniature explosion that leveled a fifth of the nearby town. "Oops," Naruto snickered, "too much chakra." "Rahhhh," Godzilla roared as he charged at the ninja. "Rah," exclaimed the mini ninja as he leapt at Godzilla with swords and kunai. Temari and Kankuro stood there, wide-eyed, but smiling as they watched their little brother have fun with his new friend, even if it was a rather strange game. Sasuke was not bored. He was actually quite busy, sitting on his bed in Team 7's assigned room and brooding. He was very good at brooding. All he had to do was sit there with a scowl on his face and imagine all the painful ways he wanted to kill his older brother, but couldn't because he wasn't strong enough. Sakura, who was sitting on her bed across from Sasuke's, thought this was sexy for some reason, and she had her hands clasped together and stars in her eyes. Squeal. Sasuke, Sakura squealed. Correction, Sakura thought it was pretty sexy. On a completely unrelated note, Sakura liked movies with sparkly vampires. Orochimaru Sunshine walked into the room and knocked Sakura out with a single punch, knocking her out cold. Cuckoo little Sasuke, crooned Orochimaru, who was as pleased as Sakura to see Sasuke's dark and depressing aura, albeit for different reasons. He wasn't into little boys, after all, and was simply pleased to discover that his target had psychological issues to exploit. I heard you got your team through the second phase of the exam in, what, 40 seconds? Most impressive, indeed. Sasuke thought this stranger had a strange laugh, but he straightened proudly when he heard the man credited him with getting his team through the forest of death. What's the point? And who exactly are you? Sasuke inquired. It means I've decided to give you a present. Orochimaru is my name. When you want power, you'll come to me. Orochimaru released his killing intent in an instant, causing Sasuke to freeze. The snake-like man made a hand sign, stretched his neck, and bit Sasuke on the junction of his neck and his left shoulder. Orochimaru then gave another creepy laugh and vanished like dust in the wind. Naruto was on his way back to his team's room when he felt it, a massive burst of killing intent, and a truly vile, corrupted chakra source. Shit, cursed Naruto mentally, that's coming from our room. He dashed out the window and ran 2 stories up the wall to his team's room, where he heard a creepy laugh, and the vile chakra presence was suppressed before disappearing completely. Naruto sent a pair of shadow clones to investigate the situation and entered the room through the window, where Sasuke was writhing in pain and Sakura was lying awkwardly on her bed, knocked out. Sasuke, what occurred? Naruto inquired. Naruto checked Sasuke over and immediately noticed the bite marks and curse seal on Sasuke's neck. It matches the curse seals we've seen on some of the Oto ninja after we finally managed to infiltrate. And that corrupted chakra must have been his, Naruto concluded, not saying it out loud in case anyone was nearby. Boss, said Naruto's last clone Sakura has been knocked out. Possible concussion, bruising, and no other injuries. Okay, go take her to the infirmary here in the tower, Naruto said, creating another shadow clone and dispatching it to find Kakashi. Kakashi entered Team 7's room as Naruto and 4 shadow clones were preparing an evil sealing method ritual, drawing seals in Naruto's blood all over Sasuke's upper torso. Naruto, you've arrived, Kakashi-sensei. To cut a long story short, Orochimaru, the cursed seal, and Sasuke. Because the seal is currently unstable, I am unable to remove it until it stabilizes. It appears to be remotely linked to Orochimaru's chakra, so even after it stabilizes, I can only remove it once Orochimaru is dead and no longer has any influence over the cursed seal. I'm sealing it with the evil sealing method while it's still weak enough, cutting it off from Sasuke's chakra system and forcibly stabilizing it. This will allow me to completely seal it, whereas if I let it do whatever it's trying to do, it will only be partially sealed. That sounds sound, Kakashi said. Do you need assistance? I'm familiar with the evil sealing method. You do. You can then look over my work. I'm confident I got this right, Naruto said. But 2 heads are better than 1. After a few moments and confirmation from Kakashi, Naruto charged the seal with chakra and said, sealing evil. The script lines he had drawn crawled up Sasuke's body, forming an intricate design around Orochimaru's cursed seal. Phew, Naruto said, wiping the sweat from his brow and sitting down. Now we just have to wait until Sasuke wakes up. Sakura awoke slowly, opening her eyes and taking in her surroundings. Kakashi-sensei, why am I in the hospital? You received a severe blow to the head. It's a good thing Medic Ninja can heal concussions almost instantly, or you'd be out for a few days. Do you recall what occurred? Sakura reflected. Well, I was Sasuke, she sighed. You were distracted and knocked out before you realized anything. Yes, I suppose. Sorry about that, Kakashi-sensei. Oh, Sasuke, how is he? When I was attacked, he was in the room with me. Sasuke is fine, Kakashi said, preferring not to deal with a Sakura hovering over Sasuke's bed, which he had purposefully placed in a different room to avoid just that. Sasuke must have confronted and killed my assailant. Ooh, Sasuke, you're so brave. Kakashi chose to ignore Sakura's contented expression. Sasuke awoke with a low groan. He was hurting all over. He tried to remember what had caused the pain. That man, Orochimaru, had said he was giving Sasuke a gift of power. That was completely unexpected. Wait, no, he was a Uchiha, so receiving gifts of power should be expected. "Ah, Sasuke, good to see you're awake," Kakashi said, interrupting his thoughts. "Check to see if you can drink this. It should alleviate the pain." Sasuke finally opened his eyes and agreed. "Do you recall what occurred?" Kakashi inquired. Power Itachi. Sasuke closed his eyes and thought. "No," he said. "Ah, that's too bad," Kakashi said. "We were hoping you could give us some insight into Orochimaru's motivations." "We?" Sasuke inquired. "Yo," Naruto called out from his hiding place, out of sight of Sasuke. "The only thing we know is that Orochimaru appeared, knocked Sakura out, and cursed you. As far as I can tell, the curse seal contains a piece of his soul, and its primary purpose was to give him control over your mind. Isn't it revolting? Fortunately, we were able to seal it and contain it before it completely set in, which means it has no effect on you other than that cute little tattoo on your neck." Sasuke raised his hand and covered the left side of his neck, trying to feel for anything. "Don't worry," Naruto said. "We'll eventually be able to get rid of it entirely. We only need to kill Orochimaru first, and in a day or two, you'll be back to normal." "He's hiding something," thought Naruto. But hey, at least he has all the information now. If he wants to do something stupid, that's his problem. Homura Mitokado was 68 years old, and he was in good shape for an old man, which made sense given that he had once served on the same team as the third Hokage. He was not, however, agile enough to hang upside down from a rope suspended from a skylight, accurately throw a kunai at an alarm system from 12 meters away, cut open 4 steel bolts with a hacksaw in one hand, steal Konoha's largest diamond from its display case, then nimbly flip over and climb the rope hand over hand, all while suppressing his chakra to avoid detection, which was odd given the lack of other appropriate security measures, such as covering his head, because all he wore was a mask that covered the lower half of his face, or searching for hidden security cameras, or wiping the fingerprints off the kunai he threw at the alarm system. When the horrified private collector who owned the diamond reported the crime the next morning, it was only a matter of hours before the ninja police, with the help of an Inuzuka, tracked down the diamond to a box buried under a bush in Homura's yard. When the cops questioned Homura, he said, "What were you doing last night between 9:35 and 10 p.m.? "I was at Kusanoki's bar," Homura said before closing his mouth and refusing to answer any further questions. When the police went to Kusanoki's bar, none of the employees or regulars could confirm Homura's presence. And when the police asked about any other unusual activity last night, the only thing they heard was a new rumor that the demon brat was planning to betray the village. Fortunately for Homura, he was far more spry politically than he was physically, so he got off relatively unscathed, though he had to trade in a lot of favors. However, the police, being ninja, looked beneath the surface and concluded that Homura's under-the-table method of getting his charges dropped was proof of his guilt, and instead of taking him to court, they took him to the court of public opinion. Many boxes of donuts were consumed during the subsequent debates. They may have been ninja, but they were still cops. 4 Konoha teams, 1 Suna team, and 1 Oto team had passed the second phase of the CH-Nin exam. Kabuto's teammates were perplexed by his disappearance, but assumed he had been lost, killed, or eaten. The proctor, Height Gecko, explained the preliminaries to the Hokage, the other proctors, and the J-Nin sensei as the 18 CH-Nin hopefuls lined up in ranks in the central hall of the Forest of Death Tower. "We have purchased a computer that will use a random number generator to select 2 participants to fight each other. The names will be shown on the large screen mounted on the wall behind me. Does anyone want to leave? Does anyone feel unable to continue?" Nobody backed out. "All right, then, let us get started. Participants, please move up to the balconies." Height gave the signal to the hidden computer ninja. Yes, they had real-life computer ninjas. Konoha was proud to boast that they had the world's fastest hunt and peck typists. The first match is between Sasuke Uchiha and Kiba Inuzuka. Kiba attempted to slander Sasuke. Unfortunately, Sasuke lost the psychological battle because he simply stuck his nose in the air and refused to respond. "Begin," exclaimed the proctor. "Beast human clone," exclaimed Kiba, using the Inuzuka clan jutsu to transform himself and Akamaru into 2 identical copies of a feral Kiba, one crouched on the back of the other. Orochimaru, disguised as the Oto team's J-Nin sensei, stood off to the side, watching intently. A type of Inuzuka. This will be no problem for Sasuke. Still, I'm curious to see how quickly Sasuke finishes the fight. Sasuke then activated his Sharingan. He only had 1 Tomo in each eye. Orochimaru swallowed his spit. Sasuke said, "You can't fool me. With the power of the mighty Sharingan, I can tell who's on top." Orochimaru almost burst out laughing. Seriously, they hadn't switched places, and anyone could tell. Had he been duped about Sasuke's abilities? Fang over Fang, exclaimed Kiba, bringing out the big guns knowing he'd need them against the Rookie of the Year. Fire style, fantastic fireball jutsu, exclaimed Sasuke. He slammed into Akamaru, knocking him out of his transformation and leaving him singed and in pain. With his Sharingan, he could easily see Kiba's Fang over Fang attack coming and avoid it. Nuo, Akamaru, I'll get you for that, you jerk. Sasuke switched with Akamaru using a Kawarami. Kiba collided with his own partner, further injuring Akamaru. It had become official. Sasuke was a monster, and giving up, Proctor, Akamaru needs a medic. And Orochimaru was happy once more. Sasuke was a monster. That was something he could work with. Sasuke Uchiha wins by forfeit. Medics. Hate signaled for the next matchup to be made after the medics had taken Akamaru away. Shikamaru Nara vs Dasu Kinuta was displayed on the screen. Shikamaru groaned. This is going to be extremely difficult. Dasu was a large 14-year-old with bandages covering most of his head except for one eye. He stood hunched over, a bundle of fur attached to his back. He entered the arena without saying anything. Begin, exclaimed Hei once the two were face to face. Dasu and Shikamaru both jumped backwards. Shikamaru tried throwing a kunai at his opponent. Dasu made a clanging sound as he blocked it with his right arm. For a minute, the two exchanged stares. Are you waiting for me to make the first move? Dasu posed rhetorically. Very well, I'll do my best. He charged at Shikamaru, revealing a metal gauntlet with multiple holes on his right arm. Shikamaru's shadow stretched out towards him, causing him to come to a halt and jump back. I'm not sure what that does, Dasu explained, but I don't think I want to find out. Shikamaru's shadow came to a halt and retreated halfway across the room. Shikamaru said. Given that you rushed at me before attempting to use your gauntlet, and that you didn't use it after jumping back, your attack has a limited effective range. I'm guessing some kind of sound-based attack. Dasu remained silent. Shikamaru started walking around the room. Dasu began circling Shikamaru in the same direction. Dasu abruptly raised his arm and fired a blast of sound in the direction of Shikamaru. Shikamaru ducked just as the sound blast exited Dasu's gauntlet. He had clearly anticipated the attack. So you understand how sound works, Dasu said. You expected me to use the walls in the corner of the room to amplify my attack, but you knew the amplification would be limited to that area. Shikamaru groaned. This is so frustrating. You can't get close to me, I can't get close to you, and we both have limited range attacks. I have a suggestion. Let's stop fighting and settle this with a game of shogi. Dasu appeared to be thinking about it. Hey, the proctor, cut in. If you do that, I'll disqualify you both because we don't have time to watch a shogi match. Damn Naras, what a drag, Shikamaru said. He drew a kunai and tossed it at Dasu, who deflected it with his gauntlet as before. Dasu returned the favor by throwing a 3 kunai spread at Shikamaru, who ducked. Shikamaru drew 4 kunai and hurled them all at Dasu. One of them had a paper tag on the handle. Dasu, seeing the tag and not wanting to be anywhere near an explosion, fired a sound blast at the kunai spread before it reached him. Splat. Dasu was splattered by a massive blob of grayish goo, which clogged the holes in his gauntlet. Because sound waves do not exert actual force, they cannot prevent a large flying mass from following its natural trajectory. Shikamaru charged forward, employing his shadow imitation jutsu. PFFTH. What is this nonsense? It's sticky grayish goo, Shikamaru deadpanned. Don't worry, it won't melt you, you've got other issues. He quickly backed away, forcing Dasu to imitate him, until the Oto ninja slammed his head into the wall and knocked himself out. Knockout winner, Shikamaru Nara, Hade declared. And I'm not going to clean that up. Ino confronted Shikamaru with a that was revolting expression on her face when he got up to the balcony where his team was watching. Shikamaru, where did you get that goo? Shikamaru shook his head. Naruto always makes sure his friends have plenty of prank supplies. Where did you get that goo, Naruto? Oh, Naruto explained. It turns out that if you collect hundreds of thousands of boogers and keep them all together, they start breeding. Why, you want one? Naruto pulled out a paper sealing tag and waved it at Ino. Sakura lunged at Naruto, who dodged and grinned. Next game, the match between Temari Sabaku and Hinata Hyuga was shown on the screen. Temari won the match quickly, blasting Hinata with a strong gust of wind and knocking her out against the wall. Hinata was a poor matchup. Without the chitin or any other defensive jutsu, she was unable to defend herself against long-range attacks. She could avoid a fireball, not so much a strong gust of wind that spread itself when it hit the floor. Wow, that was quick, Hade said dryly. The next game, Naruto Uzumaki vs Naruto Uzumaki appeared on the match board. As the proctor and the rest of the room stared at the screen, an orange-clad Naruto created a shadow clone, jumped into the arena, and yelled, "Wuo huo, let's do this. Begin the match," yelled the shadow clone. "I'm going to beat the crap out of you." "Oh no you won't," yelled Naruto, pointing to his clone. "I'm stronger, faster, and more attractive than you. Better looking. Shrimp, you're delusory." "What are you calling a shrimp?" "Shrimp." "All right, enough," exclaimed Hayate. "Uzumaki, get back on the balcony, I'll see what's going on, and then we'll redo the match." Naruto and his clone groaned and returned to the balcony. "But I really wanted to fight you." Hayate reappeared a few moments later. "Sorry for the interruption, folks. The computer ninja tells me that when he programmed the random match generator, he forgot to make sure no one was matched up with themselves. But he wants me to remind everyone that even if he sucks as a programmer, he's still the world's fastest hunt and peck typist. Okay, next match. Ino Yamanaka vs Tenten Higurashi." Tenten rolled her eyes as she approached the arena. "Oh, a fangirl. This will be simple." "So what? Just because I adore Sasuke doesn't mean I can't beat him." "Begin." Tenten kicked things off by pelting Ino with kunai and shuriken. Tenten was able to accurately aim ahead of where Ino was moving, and the barrage was simply too much for Ino to handle. Ino collapsed with shuriken in her arms and sides, as well as kunai in one of her shoulders and each of her legs. Tenten charged at her, a tanto around Ino's neck. "Surrender," she said. Ino had given up and promptly passed out. "Next match," exclaimed Hayate after escorting Ino to the hospital and Tenten back to the balcony. "Rock Lee vs Sakura Haruno." Naruto immediately burst out laughing. "Oh, Sakura," Lee exclaimed. "I'm not sure I can bring myself to fight someone as beautiful as you." "Shut up, idiot. I only care about Sasuke." "But you said you'd go on a date with me." "Wait, I never promised you that." "Indeed, you did. You said you'd go on a date with the winner of Sasuke and my most youthful fight, and I won." "It's true," Naruto exclaimed from the balcony. "You did it." Several others who had witnessed the fight before the first part of the exam agreed. "I don't care. I'm not going on a date with you," Sakura declared. But breaking a promise is very unyouthful." "GH, enough with the youth. Proctor, start the fight." But Sakura, Guy eventually came to the rescue. "Lee, my precious student," he exclaimed, wrapping a manly hug around Lee's shoulders. "Here is what you must do. You must battle Sakura and prove your youth to her until she falls into your arms. And if she still rejects you, then you must let her go. You must show her the power of youth. You must battle Sakura and prove your youth to her until she falls into your arms. And if she still rejects you, then you must let her go." Guy SENSEI. "Thank you," exclaimed Lee as he hugged his teacher. "I will do as you say and demonstrate to Sakura the power of youth." "You know, if you translate that from youth speak, that's actually some pretty damn good advice," Naruto said, standing next to Kakashi on the balcony. "That's Guy for you," Kakashi said. "Don't tell him, but there's a reason I don't always dismiss his eternal rival challenges." "Enough," said Hayate, interrupting a full-fledged hugging scene with sunset and waves. "Let's get this fight started. Guy, get out of here. Fighters, are you ready?" Guy stepped back, and Lee and Sakura nodded. "Begin." "YOSH," exclaimed Lee. "Behold the power of youth." He transformed into a green blur, beat the crap out of Sakura, and caught her in his arms as she passed out. "Knockout winner, Rock Lee," Hayate said, bored. The next game, Kankuro Sabaku vs Shino Aburame. This match was over in a flash. Neither fighter spoke up. Shino hurled a cloud of his Kakechu bugs at Kankuro, who quickly lost control of his puppet and slid out of the backpack in which he was hiding. Due to chakra exhaustion, he was forced to concede. Zaku Abumi vs Gaara Sabaku. Gaara was leaking the killing intent and demonic chakra of his Biju. "I give up," Zaku said as he entered the arena. Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga was the next match. "You should give up now, just like Zaku," Neji said as he walked down the balcony steps. "You can't win, you're a failure, a last place finisher, and you can't win against a genius like me." "No way," exclaimed Naruto, still putting on his "I'm stupid and I wear an orange jumpsuit" act. "I've been practicing for this. I'm going to beat you so badly that you'll see frogs dancing behind your eyelids for the next month." "Frogs, never mind. It is your fate to lose. The weak always lose to the strong, and you should not delude yourself into thinking that you can beat a prodigy just because you have done a little training." "Proctor, please begin the match," Naruto said, standing across from Neji. Kakashi opened his Sharingan on the balcony. He didn't want to overlook anything. "Begin." Neji dashed over to Naruto. Naruto simply stood there, hands at his sides, taking no stance and staring at Neji. Naruto was Neji's final word. "You are within my DURK range." Naruto's hands were at his side in an instant. Naruto was pulling his fingers away from the pressure points in Neji's neck, where he had disrupted blood flow to Neji's brain. An instant later, Neji collapsed on the ground, unconscious. Well, that was a letdown, Hayate said. Naruto Uzumaki wins by knockout. I'll never understand, Naruto said as he walked back to the balcony, why the Hyuga paused to say you are within my range of divination before they start their 8 trigrams moves. You are within my range of divination. You are within my range of divination. No matter how fast you say it, it still takes a minimum of about 1.5 seconds to say that. It's a taijutsu move, not. Final match. Hayate announced Choji Akamichi vs Kin Tsuchai. Kin attempted to use her genjutsu based on senbon and bell sounds on Choji. Unfortunately for her, she could only throw one handful of senbon before Choji used his human bullet tank jutsu, which blocked the senbon instead of dodging them, leaving her without bells in the proper place for the genjutsu. It was only a matter of time before Kin was flattened without a chance to use genjutsu, and without a powerful enough technique or weapon to stop the Akamichi's signature jutsu. Well, will the winners please come down to the arena? Hayate asked. The winners were as follows: Sasuke, after defeating Kiba; Shikamaru, after defeating Dasu; Temari, who defeated Hinata; Tenten, who defeated Ino; Lee, who defeated Sakura; Shino, after defeating Kenkuro; Gaara, after scaring Zaku into submission; Naruto, after defeating Neji; Choji, who defeated Kin. Alright, to avoid the risk of our computer ninja screwing up again, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Everyone choose a paper which determines your position in the bracket. The bracket was created after the final phase matchups were determined. Quarterfinals: 1. Shino vs Tenten; 2. Shikamaru vs Choji; 3. Temari vs Naruto; 4. Lee vs Sasuke; 5. Gaara vs the winner of the first match. This means that 4 people will advance to the next round. Semifinals: 6. The winner of match 2 will face the winner of match 3. 7. The winner of match 4 will face the winner of match 5. Round 3. 8. The winner of match 6 will face the winner of match 7. The remaining Chunin contenders had 1 month to prepare for their fights. Naruto remembered one of his father's most useful fighting chapters after the preliminary rounds. Ninja Techniques. Minato Namikazes. Chapter 7. Chakra improves everything. So you've honed your chakra control skills to Jonin level. Your chakra pool has grown to ridiculous proportions. You know some ninjutsu and possibly some genjutsu, and you can use them extremely well. But you know that being a ninja is more than just spamming jutsu. It's finally time to start using chakra to enhance your body. Most taijutsu experts in our world enjoy exercising and practicing they do not. However, read chakra theory and apply it to their field of expertise. All that effort in practice, it actually accomplishes 3 tasks. First, it makes you stronger when combined with the proper amount of exercise and nutrition. Second, the practice improves the reflexes and skills of your nervous system. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it causes you to instinctively and subconsciously enhance your muscles and senses with chakra. Subconscious is the key word here. What I did, and what I want you to do, is consciously use your chakra control to enhance your body and senses. With careful experimentation, you can achieve a level of chakra-enhanced strength, speed, and reflexes that would take an average taijutsu practitioner years to achieve. It takes more practice to get this intentional chakra enhancement to the point where it becomes a muscle memory, and you can use it subconsciously. However, it is much faster than simply exercising until your body does it automatically. Muscles. The first thing you should work on is your muscles. Begin by internally channeling just enough chakra to your biceps to stick to a tree. Check to see if you're keeping that chakra internal by placing a leaf on your arm and seeing if it sticks. You're leaking chakra if it sticks. You're not wasting anything if it behaves normally and drops off. Now direct the chakra's energy toward muscle strengthening. You don't want to tear the tendons at either end of the muscle if you stretch the chakra too far. Finally, begin weightlifting. To figure out how much chakra you can channel into each muscle, experiment with small, incremental amounts of chakra. After each experiment, you must drain all extra chakra from your muscles, leaving them with only the amount that normally flows through your blood. Clench your muscles a few times to make sure they're not sore or hurting. If there's any pain, you've either used too much chakra and need to back off, or you've failed to properly enhance a part, such as the tendons that connect the muscle to the bone, and you have tearing. Rest those muscles for a few days and let them heal in either case. Both of these scenarios are exactly what happens when someone opens the 8 inner gates without having a body prepared to handle that much chakra. The entire body is overfilled with chakra, resulting in burns and tearing due to a lack of control. That is why we begin with muscles. If you started with your eyes, for example, you could permanently blind yourself. It is much easier to heal or, if necessary, repair a muscle than it is to repair an eye. Or, even worse, your brain. It should be noted that chakra enhancement does not eliminate the need for physical strength. The more chakra you need to lift a boulder above your head, the weaker you are. When it comes to chakra enhancement, physical strength is multiplicative rather than additive. So if, without chakra, you can lift 30 pounds in each hand, a certain amount of chakra will double that strength to 60 pounds. If, without chakra, you can lift 100 pounds, a certain amount of chakra will double it so you can lift 200 pounds. There is a limit to how much chakra you can add to your muscles before your muscle tissue burns, so you must physically strengthen yourself. Fortunately, if you consciously avoid using chakra when you exercise, your rate of physical improvement is faster as well. Sensory organs. Start working on your sensory organs after you've gotten a lot of practice with your muscles. Channel a tiny amount of chakra to your nose's sensory membrane, your tongue's taste buds, and your eardrum and bones. You should do this in a clean, quiet area with no offensive odors or noises, and you should wait a few hours after brushing your teeth. Move on to your eyes after you've mastered taste, hearing, and smell. You'll need to be very careful with your eyes, try one at a time, and know everything there is to know about ocular anatomy before you begin. The eye is a very complex organ. With chakra manipulation, you can consciously change the size of your pupils, the shape of the lens, even the sensitivity of the retina. You can even use telescopic vision to get your eyes to zoom in. You can even increase your eye's frame rate by enhancing both the retina and the optic nerve, which brings us to the next section. Nerves and brain. For this, you'll need high metic-nin levels of chakra control. You'll be using chakra on tiny, narrow groups of cells, sometimes even single cells, distinguishing them from the surrounding tissue. That is precisely what high-level doctors must do when treating their patients. Only difference is they are doing cellular manipulation with a chakra transformation, while you're not. On the other hand, you're doing it without hand seals, and you'll eventually practice until you can do it while distracted in high-stress situations. Some applications require you to improve the nerves that connect your sensory organs to your brain when you improve your sensory organs. You can learn to do this with a great deal of careful self-reflective meditation as well as a detailed knowledge of anatomy. Finally, the brain. Be careful. Be very, very careful. I have only experimented with enhancing the muscular control and sensory perception areas of the brain. I believe the Yamanaka clan has a bloodline that involves automatically enhancing and altering certain areas of the brain, but I'm not sure which ones or what the alterations are. You don't want to accidentally enhance your nightmares, or kami forbid, mess with your libido. Puberty was difficult enough, and stay away from the pleasure centers. I theorize that enhancing your pleasure centers will cause you to want to add more chakra to those pleasure centers, triggering a horrible feedback loop which will end in burning out the pleasure centers of your brain, which could end up with you feeling miserable for the rest of your life. It's okay to poke around your brain during meditation with extremely small amounts of chakra just to figure out which parts of the brain do what. However, keep it way below the range where major enhancement occurs, and experiment with tiny controlled bursts rather than any type of prolonged enhancement. Interesting point. Your experience manipulating chakra in your brain will make it very easy to detect when someone else's chakra is influencing your nervous system. In other words, you will be able to detect mind and sense affecting genjutsu instantly. It is as simple as cutting off the external chakra flow with your own and removing the foreign chakra from your system to break it. Imitating Dojutsu. This is ridiculously entertaining. I believe that with enough chakra control and manipulation, you can actually imitate the majority of Kage Genkai. Example, the Sharingan, which I've actually imitated in experimental conditions. The Sharingan, like most Dojutsu, projects a field of chakra that pervades the environment and sends feedback to the user's eyes, thus allowing it to receive more information than it can get from just light photons, thus allowing the user to see chakra. This ability to see chakra allows users to see the chakra of a genjutsu, and automatically counter it by blocking the foreign chakra from entering their body. In addition, the ability to see chakra allows the Sharingan to see how the chakra of ninjutsu techniques is molded outside the body, which is part of the copying ability of the Sharingan. Another aspect of the Sharingan's copying ability is that it strengthens the optical nerves, vision centers of the brain, and memory centers of the brain, allowing the user to perceive everything in slow motion and easily memorize it. While the projected chakra field lacks the Byakugan's perceptive ability, the Sharingan allows the user to manipulate that chakra field and perform genjutsu. Making eye contact with a target and pushing some of that chakra into the target's brain through their eyes is the simplest way for a Sharingan user to do this. I'm not sure why it's so difficult for a Sharingan to do genjutsu without eye contact, but I suspect it has something to do with the fact that the Sharingan already knows how to send chakra to the brain through the optic nerves. I believe the fabled Mangekyo Sharingan involves actually channeling powerful ninjutsu through the eyes. Either that, or Madara Uchiha, the only known person who is said to have activated it, was deceiving everyone and could truly perform ninjutsu seal-less, and he only did that with his own jutsu creations, and only the S-ranked ones. Yeah, those last two items make it seem unlikely. Anyway, as I previously stated, I was able to imitate the basic Sharingan while sitting still and concentrating intensely. This is one of the secrets to my most famous technique, the Hurashin. While using the Hurashin, I would enhance my retinas, optic nerves, and the vision centers of my brain, increasing just my perception speed. This, combined with the enhancement of most of my muscles, bones, and other organs in order to keep them intact, has the effect of making the rest of the world appear to run in slow motion, allowing me to actually act at the speed of my perception, unlike the average Uchiha who simply uses the Sharingan. The day after the preliminaries, Naruto was walking down the street in the middle of Konoha. He heard a voice as he passed Ikaraku's. "Brother, those are some groovy threads," the voice said. Naruto turned to see who was speaking. Someone threw down a camouflage jutsu. A man sat atop a massive rainbow-colored toad that, when seated, was as tall as Naruto himself. A man with shoulder-length white hair, wearing daisy-patterned bell-bottom jeans, a large tie-dyed t-shirt, and a tan leather vest. He was wearing sunglasses, a peace symbol necklace, a brightly colored necktie as a headband, and a flower painted on each cheek. "Thank you," Naruto replied. "Not everyone appreciates the awesomeness of orange. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and it's a pleasure to meet you." "Fab. A cool head," the man said. "I guess I should introduce myself. I am Jiraiya the Toad Sage, Kami's gift to womankind."
So this was it for today. I will continue the story in next part. Till then, we weeb offline.